in player. That isn't preferential treatment. I don't care if it was Asmongold or Joe Schmo off the side of the street. If it's a new player trying to learn the game, you going and harassing and killing that person for no political motivation, for no opportunity cost, for no scarcity of resources,
Oh
all
God.
the reasons why PvP should exist, you are doing it for opposite of that. You are doing it to harass a person off of the server. By all means, go find a different community. That is not our intent, and you are exploiting our system.
Good. Hell yeah. No, I 100% agree with that.
Yeah, it's going to be very hard for something like this to actually happen.
My God.
I'll be very surprised if this.
I cannot agree more. One of the reasons why I literally stopped playing a lot of MMOs is simply because of the fact that PvP is so like heavily appreciated in these communities. And like, I'm a casual player. I do not play MMOs aggressively like a lot of these players do, to the point where I understand the game enough to play it competitively and raid effectively. Most of the time I will cause you to like wipe on a raid, because I'm like, I put more of my time into my artwork. And I will tell you that I've always detested like grieving and things like that. It's like, dude, I just want to play the game and experience the game, and I got people literally like one-shotting me as soon as I literally like log in, and I don't even know what happens. Like my screen just goes gray or something like that. I know I was playing like, I can't remember what the name of the MMO was, but it was like automatic PvP where you had to kill certain people. And dude, I'm telling you, like I could not log in without being killed because I put on like faction clothing. And when I put the faction clothing on, it's like everybody from the enemy faction would just like one shot you, and you don't even like, I wasn't even well versed in the game enough to actually know what the enemy faction was. So essentially what happened was I didn't know who my enemy was, and I was just getting killed by random players. Like, and some of these players were so far along in the game that like they were doing like crazy attacks on me. I didn't even know what was going on. I was just dying immediately. And it was terrible, man, but I agree. I hate it.
I think that is preferential treatment. Fundamentally it is, right? Because I'm being treated differently in game because of something that's out of game. So I think that really banning people and like getting rid of people that are doing that is actually making sure that I don't get preferential treatment, making sure that I can have a normal, authentic experience playing the game. So like, that's my actual opinion. But I understand that there's a lot of people in the MMO community that they don't want that. Like, whether that's the right opinion or not, that they don't want that opinion. Nobody will see it that way. Exactly.
Video
like I already went through
Asmongold
this with Clash of
portraying
WoW.
the game as an insufferable gank box is enough to cost Intrepid a lot of
I'm sorry,
potential
but
revenue.
I really wish that like for them to accuse him of getting preferential treatment, obviously like having everyone on a server literally attack your character as soon as you log in, literally like this massive group of people attacking you to the point where you can't even log in and play the game. Dude, I mean, let's just be honest. Like, we don't even have to be bad faith about this. You can't play the game if you're being killed literally every single time you log in. You can't. And you only are doing that because, you know, this guy is like a massive streamer and everybody knows that he's playing the game. Everybody knows where he's going. They have to do something. It's not even a normal case. I just think that is ridiculous. Like, we got to do something. Like, really, playing an MMO is not just about going around and killing random people, man. We got to have like something more we want to do. I don't know.
If you know that you can shut somebody else, basically, for a lot of griefers and gankers, the biggest reward is to make somebody stop playing the game. And when you think about that on just a fundamental level,
absolutely, I agree with that 100%.
You want to have for your game, where like you have an entire contingency of your player base that their main goal is to stop people from playing it. No, I don't really think so. So, and how do I know this? I used to do it. That's how I know. And so
There's a lot of people that do that.
Of course, that's what's going to happen.
There's tons of people that do it.
Less viewers than it would have
Tons.
if you
It
did
just-
not
it
provide
happens
such
all the
negative
time.
publicity. And even if you don't care about that, if you enjoyed this game and want to see it succeed in such a stale MMO genre, then you must realize that griefing Asmon on stream will inevitably just cause the population of this Alpha 2 test to slowly drop and or fail.
It's a net negative when streamers leave a game. It definitely is.
Yes. Of course
while
it is.
brings in less viewers than it would have had without the negative publicity. What Asmongold experienced is a one-off and different from the experience that you or I had. However, I want to keep this as fair and as balanced of an outlook as I can. How much of this is on the development team? I'm sure you're asking. On one hand, they are in
Honestly,
early alpha phase.
I feel like this. I feel like, honestly, streamers playing games is kind of a new concept. And you used to didn't be able to triangulate someone's position and be able to have a phenomenon where it's like this one person is here, all of us around the world or on these servers can come here and bully this person. This is a new kind of concept. It's not something that happens all the time, or it wasn't like when old MMOs, they didn't really have that. So now it's like this is something that developers have to try to come up with a new thing to do to tackle it, because it's not new. I mean, it's not something that is common, and it is so silly. Like, dude, he's a streamer. I mean, he's just trying to show people what the game is like, trying to get eyes on the game. That's the purpose of what he's doing. I mean, yeah, he's also playing the game and he's enjoying it, but basically you're killing the potential of this game by doing this. It's really a selfish thing, man, because some of these games need to get eyes on them so that they can grow and they can eventually give you the experience you're looking for. And you will never get that as long as you have players who can't see like beyond that one experience of like killing Asmongold, so they can laugh about it at school or laugh about it, you know, to their buddies. Like, I killed Asmongold on stream, bro. Haha. It's like, dude, grow up, man. We gotta, like, we're trying to get games into a better place. We can't do it this way.
Please consider subscribing
really
for
nice.
more Ashes of Creation content. And if you're a tank enjoyer, make sure you click the video on screen. Thank you so much for watching. It's been nice.
Good one. So yeah, I think, yeah, good video. Yeah, I think so too. It's a pretty fair, measured out video. And to me, the reason why I kind of stepped away from it is because I knew the discord and trouble it was going to create. Just not a fan of the forced PvP. I don't.
So what? Did he stop? I guess he stopped. I guess he stopped playing the game.
The only people that really are usually people that want to take
He
advantage.
couldn't.
of
He
it
didn't
and
even
use
continue
it
to play the
harass
game,
people.
dude.
So yeah, griefing the level players is the fastest way to kill a game. There's absolutely no reason PvP should be enabled in the starting zone. PvP immune
Crazy,
in the
dude.
small starting zones. I think that if you have a game where PvP is non-consensual, you will eventually have people quit the game because of that. Because there's a lot of casual players that want to make progress over time. And when you only have, like, let's say an hour to play the game, if 20 minutes of that time is spent getting ganked, a third of the time that you were going to play the game has been taken away from you. And so this actually affects casual players much worse than it affects other random players.
Yes, it does.
And I think that's
it really
one of
does,
the
man.
biggest issues that a lot of people might not really.
And it's not even whiny.
But it is massively problematic. People will not do this. Corruption is way worse than you think. You'll lose your entire investment if you gank people. Only the most desperate will. I think that what people will probably do.
Dude, I'm telling you, I am a casual player, and I'm telling you that I have literally gotten to the point where I will play MMOs and I won't even get past level 20. And I will literally just say, like, I don't have time to play this. I'll go play something that's a little bit more brain dead. I'll go play, you know, a first-person shooter or something like that. Or, you know, just something that I can just kind of sit back and chill and play, because I really want to get into MMOs. I love the entire idea of what MMOs are. I think they're the best possible thing that we have, be able to like have a creative experience, be your own character, be in a world, interact with other people and things like that. And I think that that's awesome. But there's a lot of like other like roadblocks in MMOs that you have to go through that make it very, very difficult for a regular casual guy to really get into it for the long run. I already have to learn about the UIs, the different currencies and things like that in order to be able to play the game effectively. I can't do that while also like not even being able to exist within the world without getting slaughtered by a level 99 who got there in like 5 or 6 days. You know, I mean, it's like, I don't know, man. I think it's a very difficult problem to solve. Maybe he has an idea, I'm not sure, but I think it's a difficult problem to solve. But I understand that I don't think it's going to be a net positive on the game at all. Sorry.
Sure. I think also live to grief to live. Yeah, exactly. And the PvPers won't play because they want to grief casuals, not actually fight good players, so they'll quit too. It's a cycle. Yeah, you're right about that. Just make a PvP server.
They just move on to the next game. Do the same thing.
They should do what they think is best for the game. Whatever they think is best for the game, that's what they should do. And so I feel like, yeah, it's literally that simple.
Do what's best for the game, man. The game has to exist.
I think that's probably people just playing the game, and it just was convenient for them, right? So
the game cannot live without players. You need hardcore players and casuals.
There will always be an incentive to kill streamers and to harass streamers, and that incentive will probably offset any in-game reward. That's really what happens. That will not work. Yeah. It's people just like doing that. They just need to fix the starting areas. I think the first thing to do is fix the starting areas. You're absolutely right. Yeah, but there are rewards. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. I think that developers should think about it like this. If you know that an area is a starting area, especially for where typically all the new players are going to be, those areas need some safeguards. You shouldn't have like level 50s and 60s coming through here slaughtering these people. Like, obviously these are experienced players. They know where all the new people are going to go, where, like, what the quest path looks like, and they're just waiting. Those areas and those places need to have some sort of like community safeguards. I'm just saying, because people got to be able to progress through the game, dude. It's not about being like soft. It's not about complaining. It's not about like, you know, being like sensitive or whatever. It's like, yo, I can't even make it to the next area, bro. Right? It's just, you know, I mean, you got to protect the new player experience, man. I got to be able to get into the game, you know, in order for me to feel like it's going to be worth investing more time.
That's really like any of them, right? Any game, if you have, I don't think that having non-consensual PvP makes a game better. I think that in almost every circumstance, it makes a game worse. There are some people that like those games, and so if you like those games, that's fine. However, you have to acknowledge that none of these games will ever hit the mainstream. They will always have niche audiences.
Yes.
And a lot of the games end up dying.
And we can never have the MMO that we want.
The new players get killed by the older players because the older players want to be able to kill new players that are easy to kill. Wrong?
You cannot.
Eve is the exception. Eve has been losing players for years, and it's massively unpopular. It's absolutely a niche game. It's a tiny game. What are we talking about? Mortal Online 2. Mortal Online 2...
Okay. This is the issue. If you want MMOs to become something that is larger than life, that is grand, that exceeds our expectations, people have to play the game. People you don't like have to play the game. Casuals have to play the game. Hardcore players have to play the game. We cannot crush MMO. We will all these MMOs are getting drained of their financial resources over the course of time because players move on from one MMO to the next. No new people get on there, and then as a result, the game cannot grow or get bigger or get any more immaculate. This is something that I have always understood, and I realize it's never going to change unless the players themselves, the community, start to understand that they need to be more welcoming to people who aren't as hardcore or aggressive as they are. Right? I personally get tired of having to invest thousands of hours into a game and then turn around and jump onto the next MMO. I want to be able to have an MMO that lasts like WoW did, so that I can continue to put investment into my character and develop this relationship with the character in the game that goes throughout my livelihood 20 years down the line. We don't have anything else like this, because MMOs are constantly hemorrhaging players and money trying to just survive, because the MMO genre is just so niche in itself now. Like, we don't even have people playing MMOs like they used to. Just being honest, I don't think that MMOs are going to get any better as long as we don't make an adjustment to this. I personally have felt this way for about maybe 5 or 10 years for about 5 or 10 years. If we can't get MMOs to a place where it's no longer like a niche genre in itself, we'll never see that MMO that we all really want to experience, that's vast, that isn't constantly, played pay to win, gotcha MMOs and things like that. We'll never get past that particular chapter in MMOs. We won't. And in order to do that, you have to have, I believe, a community investment into the idea of an MMO and support of these companies, knowing that at times, sometimes they have monetization strategies that we don't particularly agree with. I'm not completely against monetization strategies that seem a little bit, unfair to the player. You know why? Because we cannot afford, MMOs cannot exist if they are not financed. And when I mean by finance, I'm not saying we need $1 million to do this and that's all we need to make is $1 million. It's no, it's a business. And if there's no profit to be made, nobody's gonna, the game developers aren't gonna have a job in order to make it. So the businesses and the companies need to see profits coming out of these MMOs in order for them to even be anything at all. And unfortunately, I get it. There's greed all in these companies. A lot of people who are in control of these monetization strategies and these ideas don't care about gaming, don't care about MMOs at all. But
if that's okay with you,
it's something that we have to deal with. Oh, we got Miss Kiff.
Could.
Anyways, I hope we get something out of this. I hope people think about this. I hope that we can move into the next era of MMO strategies where we can finally see MMOs with the combat that we want, the gameplay that we want, the longevity that we want, and the creative capabilities that we're all looking for, that can move us into the next direction of MMOs, because I feel like we've hit a ceiling. We haven't gotten anything new, in my opinion, that isn't like anything else. Everything that we've gotten is essentially another version of something that has already passed. And it takes so much time to create these games that that developers are getting their idea they had out when they were in high school or 10 or 15 years ago. They're finally getting it out, as an adult in their 40s, and they get one shot and it burns to the ground and you don't hear from them again. And I believe that if we don't keep this in mind, if we don't think about this, in my personal opinion, what's going to happen is we're going to see or usher in a generation where we're going to start seeing developers use AI tactics to build these games, because that's the only way they're going to be able to afford it. That's my personal opinion. Don't hate me. I love you guys. Ogilvietheblue out. Peace. I might do some more videos like this. I don't know, but